Thanet, 24 hours a day on 107.8. This is Academy FM's local news.
And Maeve's got the latest.
Good afternoon. Local residents have slammed airline company easyJet for an ad poster which says, "This year, end up in Malaga, not Margate." Responses to the poster on Twitter have accused the airline of taking a cheap shot at the town, with many expressing views that it could be damaging to the area, especially after all the hard work that's been put into improving its reputation in recent years. Margate Mayor Will Scobie tweeted easyJet saying, "Message to easyJet. Margate has a lot to offer. Perhaps you should come see before talking it down." Others have agreed with the sentiment, saying it's just a bit of harmless fun. We're yet to receive a response from easyJet on the campaign.
You might well have seen and heard about an easyJet ad, which a lot of locals have slammed as an insulting to the British tourist industry. It actually was a campaign which said, and this is part of it, it said, "This year end up in Malaga, not Margate." And quite rightly, a lot of our local traders and local people here in Thanet, in particular Margate, were best not pleased about it. One of those was the Mayor of Margate, Councillor Will Scobie. Hello, Will.
Hello there.
Thanks very much for joining us this afternoon. So, it looks like easyJet have backed down on this then.
Yeah, I think I'm glad they actually did. I'm glad they did, because in a way it's actually praise in disguise, because I mean, all the work that teams have done promoting Margate Resort obviously worked, because, you know, when they were coming up with their ad, the first place they could think of that began with M was actually Margate. So, in a way, it's a bit of a compliment.
But as they say sometimes, you know, all publicity is good publicity, isn't it, in some respects?
Exactly, but I mean, it was a shocking campaign. I mean, it was totally unnecessary. When I first saw it on Twitter, it made me actually quite angry, because a lot of people are putting hard work in. You know, people are investing a lot of money, and then they've just, without actually even coming down here and looking around, they've just tried to write us off in a way. I'm glad they backed down. Yeah,
this almost rings of the Bob Geldof thing of a couple of years ago, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll come and turn on the Christmas lights for us maybe this year. But, Will, there was a big campaign, wasn't there, on Twitter, and it's still going on, isn't it? Love Margate? How can people get involved in that? Because it's more or less the, you know, the Twitter campaign that you started, and a lot of the local traders and local people here in Margate started that, you know, had a turn easyJet around, wasn't it?
That's right. It's basically any tweets you're doing, just put the hashtag Love Margate. And if you want, you can also tag easyJet at easyJet, just so they know how many people actually care about Margate. I mean, it was just something simple. There were a few of us that saw it on Twitter and just decided we were going to put a response, say some of the things we actually love about Margate. You know, one of the things I was talking to someone about earlier today was Malaga might be a lovely place to go to for, you know, a week or two, but to actually go and live there with Spain's unemployment rate at 25% and economy in a downturn, actually going to live there 365 days a year, however many you want to, is, you know, probably not that nice. So I'd say, you know, maybe go to Malaga for a week, but stick for Margate for the rest of the year.
Exactly. There was a programme on the TV on one of the documentary channels last week. You might well have seen it, and it was about Brits abroad. And all right, the lady was from Essex, but I'm sure it was Malaga where she was, and she had a business there, and she's actually turned around and said, nope, don't want Spain, and she's actually gone back to Essex.
Indeed. I mean, I can honestly say I've never been to Malaga, so I wouldn't want to do an easyJet and not slamming an area before we've even seen it. But,
likewise, like myself. But anyway, have you heard anything from easyJet at all? Have they said anything to you?
Apparently, according to the journalist I spoke to earlier, he was saying that they have backed down. And I've also seen a press release out from, or some words from South Eastern Trains where the ad was actually on, saying that they are committed to helping Margate. You know, they've got the Porter's pilot ticket.
That's it.
And that they're apologising for any confusion. Apparently, they put their adverts out to a third company who then sourced it in, and then when they saw it, they instantly, you know, responded to it. So I think that's fair from them.
Funny enough, I was on an easyJet flight coming back from Amsterdam just about six weeks or so ago, and we actually flew down to Ostend and then came right across, heading back to, because it was landing at Southend, and we flew right over Thanet, including Margate, and the you know, I can remember the captain saying, you know, it was a lovely, lovely winter's day, saying, and if you look to your left-hand side, there is the beautiful side of East Kent, and in particular the coast of Margate and Broadstairs. So maybe the captains should have had a go as well.
Well, indeed.
But it was fantastic. Anyway, look, if people want to join in on the Love Margate tweets again, how can they do that? Very simply?
If they just put the hashtag Love Margate for any tweets they're putting out, or if they wanted to put what their favourite thing about Margate is, that would be brilliant, and we can just show easyJet, how many people actually love Margate.
That is brilliant. OK, Will, look, thanks for taking time out and talking to us this afternoon, and well done with the campaign.
Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.
Cheers, Will. That's the Mayor of Margate and Councillor Will Scobie talking about that easyJet campaign. It says this year end up in Malaga, not Margate. It looks like that's now been dropped, so some good news there.
How do you lie?